I've always been very much a case guy, and spending hundreds and upwards of $1,000 on a device that I use every day, I'm going to inadvertently be subjecting it to relatively rough conditions, like along with keys, change, whatnot. I always really prefer having a case. And with these devices, as I never trade them in, never sell them, I hold on to them and I use them extensively for as long as I can. I strongly recommend using protection with these guys, and so I bought such protection. A case and a screen protector from two brands I didn't realize I had purchased from before. I actually found boxes for them for like an iPhone 6 or whatever when I was looking for these old cases, and I didn't have any complaints from the previous products, so I can attest that these guys' products did stand up for me and I didn't have to really replace any of them. So the Snazzy Lab announcement video was what I watched, and he advertised this on that video.
But today's sponsor, Torras, has done something that I have not seen executed this well before. They built a 360 kickstand directly into the case that's just 3 millimeters thick while retaining MagSafe functionality.
And it boasted a really cool looking stand that is like omnidirectional. So instead of a simple stand on my iPhone 15, which is from the same brand by the way, but where you can only go like this with the iPhone 15, it's a stand that allows you to rotate it as well, and it's actually MagSafe compatible. This is also MagSafe compatible, but this stand is a little lacking. So, because I like this guy's stand on my iPhone 15 Pro Max, so I thought, hey, why not give this unique Torras stand a chance? So, purchased it for close to 70 bucks USD. This is the Ostand Spin. Wait, 6.9 inch, what the hell? Oh my God, is it too big? Oh. That's the big version. God damn it. I'm gonna have to return it and exchange it. Frickin' A. Alright. Well, I'll have to wait for my new cover. Alright, peace. I'm gonna be installing the screen protector immediately. What I really like to do to avoid getting dust under the screen protector, I really prefer installing it immediately after taking the cover off the screen. All right, now moving on to unboxing this guy. A TOCOL screen protector, which I got from, you guessed it, Amazon. For iPhone 16 Pro, iPhone 6.3 inch 2025. Okay, so I assume this is going to be compatible with the iPhone 17, as it explicitly said 17 on the product description on Amazon. So if it doesn't work, I'm going to be returning it. Interesting. Oh, one's pre-installed in this guy. That's cool. And you have one spare one in case you mess up. This boasts effortless installation, dust-resistant design, and finger mark preventive design. IP16 Pro, 17 Pro, right there. Cool. So it doesn't say it on the outside packaging, but it says it on this. They definitely redesigned this to include that. Interesting. And over here you got a screen cleaning kit. There's an alcohol pad, microfiber cloth, dust absorber. All right, I'm gonna try to not have to use them. Activate warranty. Scan install video. Interesting. Okay, there's an installation video. Okay, I'm just going to clean the bottom of this case just so that we can be sure that there's no dust that is inadvertently put on top of the pristine screen of the iPhone that I unwrapped from its paper protector. Now that that's done, I'm gonna take this off, immediately put this on and install, okay? It's gonna be relatively quick. Top, making sure it's on there. Holding it down, hold firmly, and then pull as per the instructions. There we go. Oh, you can see it work its magic. Very nice. Okay. It says hold it for 10 to 15 seconds, right? That's what I'm doing. Do I take off the sides now? Yeah, okay. Take this off. Okay. There's the bubble removing applicator. Yeah, the edges, you can see the edges. There's a little bit of air in the edges that I'm gonna just kind of try to get rid of. Move it off to the side, move it down, down. Wow. Very cool. The replacement screen. It comes with one of these already, so I don't need to worry about saving this applicator to reuse. I can just toss this. This is a discardable now. So this I will resheath within its protective sleeve and place it within the packaging to use in the future if need be. Very good. Nice. Not bad. Not a bad experience at all. So I'm back a few days later. Now that I have the case, let me install it. Replacement buttons. Oh, interesting. There's a quick guide. Okay. Did I get replacement buttons in the other one? Let me just check that real fast. Here's the one I got from the manufacturer. Q3 Air. Oh, what the heck? Ostand Spin. What? It's an Ostand Spin? Okay, so I guess I didn't actually get the same exact model. That's weird. Super confusing. Yeah, this one definitely does not have button replacements, but that kind of makes sense because this is actually the Ostand Spin. So this functions largely in the same manner. Okay. Okay, there it is. I see, they have orange colored buttons by default. That's interesting to say the least. Here's the quick camera select button, camera action button. Interesting. Seems to fit okay. Maybe I'll evaluate this a little bit longer before deciding which one to return. It comes with replaceable side buttons that are darker in color, which I may actually swap out right now. This is the buttons. Pull up. So over here is the outer side. Facing us is the inner side. I'm gonna take this out. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, just brute force it, I guess. Yeah, it's coming out. You can see it coming out. There we go. Just gonna pop these guys out. There we go. Don't be afraid of bending it. It's meant to be bent, apparently. And they do pop out, given enough force. And you just take these guys and then pop it into its respective slot. They have a little lip so it doesn't slide out, right? It can't slide out beyond this because on the white part of the case it's caught. So be sure when you're installing it to orient them the right way. There's a little lip on these guys. So this is the outer side, this is the inner side. Make sure you have the inner side on the inside of the case where the phone would be. Basically orient it like so. Okay, 2 more. Okay. Okay, all 3 are in. The install wasn't too hard, just gotta pop them back in from a certain direction in the correct orientation, not too hard. And then you just install the phone like so. Plunk it on the bottom and then flip it, plunk it in from the top. There we go. I think just hit the buttons a little bit to ensure they set correctly, and now they feel fine. Okay, good, decent. So I'll try out this case. Got it installed, doesn't look too bad. It is midnight blue-ish, or kind of like jives well with the color of the phone. Not a bad look at all, especially without the overly contrasty orange colored buttons. I really appreciate that they added in a different set of different colored buttons that allow you to basically choose what kind of button color you want. I prefer the more subtle, more professional look. I mean, the orange buttons kind of make it look more like a toy, overly flashy. I'm not trying to turn heads. If I could, I would just get a black case and hide this thing. I like the look of it. I like the feel of it so far. Feels actually decent. Only time will tell how this holds up, but I'll probably be making more content about my experience with it, my initial thoughts in a few weeks' time. So I just quickly wanted to show you something I've noticed. So I got the new case, which is a different color, right? It's a shadow black. That's what they call it, at least. It's a black gray color instead of a blue color. And this case's stand ring, actually, you can hold it, and it's rather stiff enough to the point where you can orient it in a direction and then like hold it in whatever direction you want and it'll just stay. And that's great. And I really like this. right? It's more rigidity, so in case I want to like get more stability on my phone, I can hold it like so with multiple fingers in the back and just angle it whatever way I want and it stays, right? That's great. So I'm happy with this one. However, the one that I initially got, the blue one, let me actually install that one on this guy. Okay, so here's the blue case, the initial case I got. That's the black case, the one that I got replaced. Came in from the manufacturer a little later. This one's from Amazon, this one's from the manufacturer. And let me show you how this ring stand behaves. Can move it up and down, sure, it's relatively stiff this way, but now turning it is trivial. Takes hardly any force to turn it. And if I were to try to hold it the same way, just on the back, the phone rotates. Try locking it into a position, it just flops over. So this isn't ideal. I encourage those of you who get a case with a floppy Ostand ring to get an exchange at the very least, as this is a defective product, I would say. Because if it's this easy to rotate right now when it's brand new out of the box, how do you think it'll be behaving in a few months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now? It probably won't even be able to hold up the phone adequately. Yeah, so I recommend you get an exchange. You don't want to be stuck with a defective product. And I would definitely classify this product, the first one I got, as a defective product, namely because this rotation ring does not lock adequately into its lock points. You hear the snapping, but it's just the sound. It doesn't actually stay, right? If I were to angle it, it just flops over, right? Also, one more thing I wanted to point out, make sure that you get the tactile feel on the buttons. The bottom one is a little mushy. Action button works fine. Up volume. Bottom volume is somewhat tactile right now, but I've had instances before where it was hard to tell if I was actually registering the button. This one's definitely very tactile. You can definitely hear it. I can feel it click. Every button, including this one over here, all 5 buttons you want to make sure are giving you a nice sound and tactile feel that resemble the feeling and sound of the iPhone without the case. Of course, it's not going to be the exact same because you have a case over it, but you want it to be relatively consistent. All buttons are working just fine and all the actions are registering properly with the exception of the lower volume button. You can hear it a little less and I can feel it a little less. So just something else to keep an eye out for. And I would also encourage anyone with a super mushy button, case button, and even after massaging it and taking it out of the case and trying to move it back in and out to try to loosen it up, Alright, so that's how it sounds like without the case. I would recommend once you have the case uninstalled from the phone, just try coaxing the button back and forth. Try to loosen it some to ensure that the button isn't getting stuck to its surroundings. Just sliding it in and out a little bit, a few times or several times should actually loosen it up so that it becomes more tactile. That's a fix I found to somewhat work. It was super mushy earlier. Now it's much more tactile feeling, but it's still not as tactile as other buttons. So that's another strike against this case. It makes my decision to return this case back to Amazon all that much easier. Of course, the stand being the #1 concern and this non-tactile feeling bottom volume button being the secondary one. And comparing it to the other case, the one that I'm keeping, all very much the same. Cool, well, hope that helped. After having used this case for a little bit of time now, I just wanted to point out that, yes, of course, plugging in a wire with the same dimensions as an Apple genuine cable will work, no problem, right? However, an Amazon Basics cable, for instance, that is wider and thicker, noticeably, will struggle to fit into this case. It'll struggle to slot into the port. It gets caught on this little lip over here. But I found that if you just grab the top and force it in, it will end up plugging in, but you'll be bending the case a little bit in order to do so. So just keep this in mind. It doesn't seem that this damages it, but something that you really should be aware of. If you have cheapy Amazon Basics cables that are much larger, it's going to be a bit of a struggle slotting them in with this case installed. So I would strongly recommend you get an exchange.
I can search the web for that when you're finished driving.
No, goddammit, shut up. What the hell? I'm not even talking to you. What was your problem?